I'm back and ready to do a full field rundown.
Today's video is brought to you by Assiniboia Downs Gaming and Event Center. And be sure to tune in to Trust the Profits Live Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern for Monday Night Lights, hosted by Matthew DeSantis.
All right, we are back. I'm the Formula. I am back, and I'm going to be talking about the Stephen Foster today. We already talked about it with Matt DeSantis, Colin Sheehan. They gave you their perspectives, an early pitch on it, and I'm going to give you my full field rundown. It is going to be run July 1st, 2023 at Ellis Park. It is worth 1 million smackaroonies, and it is a 9 furlong race on dirt. That is 1 1/8 mile. We have 7 horses entered. We do not know the order yet, and we also do not know the odds. Very balanced field, I will say, at the outset here. I'm not even certain who's going to be the morning line favorite here. I don't have a good feeling. Talking to Matt DeSantis earlier, he was thinking West Willpower. I think that's probably about as good a guess as any, but it could be a number of different horses. Let's get into it. PROXY, 16 races, 5 wins, 6 second places. I mean, that's a pretty darn good percentage for place. Last out, he was the winner at the Oaklawn Handicap, a G2 where he beat Last Samurai by a head. Second place finish at the Santa Anita Handicap, a G1, losing by a neck to Stiletto Boy, closing from 8th position in a 9-horse race. This is a horse that is a deep closer. He won the Clark Stakes, a G1, by 3/4 of a length in a 6-horse field, beating West Willpower and Folsom. So despite it being a small field, he's facing some pretty steep competition there. And I've already talked through about 4 other horses that are going to be in this race we're talking about. Like I said, a lot of these horses have been beating up on each other. He did run in the last Stephen Foster, which was obviously run at Churchill Downs, which is not where they're running at this year due to the issues Churchill Downs is facing right now and struggling to figure out why horses are dying at the track. Beat out by Olympiad there, a real champion of a horse, Olympiad. Thing about PROXY to keep in mind here, because of his running style, because he's a deep closer, traffic issues can develop for PROXY. What I've noticed is he is his best in 6 to 7 horse races, this is one. So I think PROXY, despite his running style coming from the back, this does match up well with his running style, at least in terms of the number of horses they have. I know Ellis Park, they're talking about it being geared for speed, and there's 3 burners in this race right now, of which PROXY is not one, but I do like his chances nonetheless. Stiletto Boy, talking about burners, let's start with one of the 3, Stiletto Boy. Only 4 wins in 22 races for Stiletto Boy, but as you can see from the numbers there, you do a little bit of arithmetic, you find out he finishes in the money quite frequently. Last time out, 3rd place finish at Oaklawn Handicap, losing by a head to PROXY and Last Samurai. After setting the pace in that race, winner of the Santa Anita Handicap by a neck over PROXY, 3/4 of a length over Defunded there. Defunded who set the pace in that one. So PROXY, Stiletto Boy, not necessarily setting the pace, but doing pretty well for himself in that Santa Anita Handicap, in my opinion. 4th place finish at the Pegasus. After setting the pace there, he did finish 5 lengths off of the win there, 5+ lengths. One of the 3 horses trading blows. You could probably even make that 4 if you throw in West Willpower, because you do see his name pop up a bunch. But PROXY, Last Samurai, Stiletto Boy, they've been in a number of races. They're familiar with each other. This is a pace-setting horse whose last win did come slightly off the pace and a bit of a stalking position. I think that's a little bit better for him, especially in a race like this where there's a couple other horses that might be pushing that pace a little bit heavier than he wants to take on for that 9 furlong finish. Last Samurai. Last time out, 4th place finished at the Alley Sheba, losing to Smile Happy by 11 lengths there. Smile Happy ran a great race that time out. He did win the Razorback, beating West Willpower there by 1.5 lengths. So again, these horses trading punches. Came in 4th at the Pegasus, 7 lengths behind Art Collector. Defunded, Stiletto Boy were also 2 to 3 lengths ahead of him in that one. This is a horse, especially lately, always he's been running a lot of big stakes races, been hitting the board a lot. 3rd, 4th, got a win in there at the Razorback. Curious to see where he ends up here, because I think this is one of the deeper races, or at least one of the more even races that he's going to have been running in quite some time. Speed Bias, bit of a newcomer to this group, I would say, and a pretty impressive one at that. Last time out, he was a 2nd place finisher by a nose to Rattle and Roll at the Pimlico Special Stakes at G3. and he did set the pace in that one. As his name would suggest, previous to that, ran in a number of allowance races. So that G3 was his first stakes race, let alone graded stakes race. Previous to that, he was running at Oaklawn through a number of 100K allowance races, mainly setting the pace there, coming in second place, third place. So he hits the board a lot, but he's only won a couple of races. Another horse who's going to want to set the pace. This is our second burner in this one, Speed Bias. Definitely a very interesting horse in this race. Yeah, I brought up that word, interesting. Ooh, do I have a drop for that? Am I going to put you guys through that? No, I'm not going to do that today. Maybe later. Rattle and Roll, horse that we're all familiar with from last year. I mean, this is a horse that last year a lot of us got attached to, you could say. A horse that a lot of us were rooting for because early on he was the 2022 Breeders' Futurity winner. So you see a lot of horses that run in that race. They get earmarked for Derby contention. I mean, last year, sorry, this past year, um, I should put he's the 2021 winner. It was for the 2022 Kentucky Derby. But anyway, going back to this, last year's winner Forte did beat another horse that we would like to refer to as Logan. In that same race a year later. So this is a horse that has been through the circuit a number of times. He's won 3 G3s in a row. Pretty impressive. Last time out, the Blame Stakes, which is a new G3 here, winning by 1 1/4 lengths over Call Me Fast and 2 lengths over Happy American, who's in this race. Won the Pimlico Special over Speed Bias, also in this race, by a nose after closing from about 10 lengths back at the 3/4 mile mark. Won the Benelli before that, 1 1/4 lengths over Call Me Fast. I bet he wishes he was in this race. Also over Pioneer of Medina and Happy American. Rattle and Roll, one of 2 Ken McPeak horses in this race. Very similar horses, very touted horses, especially last year going towards the Derby. And next we have the other one, Smile Happy. 8 races, 4 wins. Half his races are wins. Gotta love that from Smile Happy. This is a horse that I fell in love with last year. I liked Rattle and Roll a lot last year, but then I really hooked my wagon to Smile Happy. And his 8th place finish in the Kentucky Derby wasn't what I was looking forward to, but we have what we have. He did win the Ali Sheba last out. A G2, 2 lengths over Art Collector. West Willpower also in that race, finishing maybe 3 lengths back at third after setting the pace there. Smile Happy stalked him the entire way. Brilliant race by Smile Happy. Looked strong in that race. He had a 3rd place finish at the Oaklawn Mile in a G3, closing out from 7th, losing by 2 lengths there. I think adding on another 1/8 of a mile is probably good for Smile Happy. Less than a year after the Derby, he won a 50K allowance race, going 9 furlongs, beating Speed Bias in that race by 1 1/4 lengths. Smile Happy, pulling into shape here, looking good. Ken McPeak horse, like Smile Happy. Who do we have next? Who's up next? West Willpower. We've been talking about West Willpower a lot. So this is the 3rd of 3 pace setters, in my opinion. 3rd of 3 want to be on the pace horses. 6 wins and 16 attempts. Last out, a 3rd place finish in the Ali Sheba, losing by almost 3 lengths to Smile Happy, as we just said. Win at the Fayette Stakes at Keeneland, beating Folsom and Last Samurai by 7 lengths. As I said before, a pace setter, or he will stalk. Brad Cox's horse here, been looking really strong lately. A lot of people like West Willpower. Probably the morning line favorite, but like I said, there's so much balance. It's hard for me to say that with 100% certainty. Who else we got? Happy American. Close out on Happy American. 5 wins in 20 attempts, but it's been a while. Last out, 3rd place finish at the Blame Stakes, race that we just talked about. Previous to that, he had 3 races where he finished outside the money after having a strong finish to his 2022. So Happy American, definitely been struggling in the last 6 months. Would like to see a little bit more from Happy American. He's probably my first Insta scratch, though, Insta toss in this field, and probably my only one because I think we got about 6 horses here with a chance to win. Which brings me to my strategy. What is my strategy going to be? It's going to be Smile Happy. There, I said it, Smile Happy. No, not working. Okay, so if we're gonna key any horse, it's gonna be Smile Happy. I do like Proxy here, as well. Part of me even thought Proxy could be coming in as the morning line favorite because he's been pretty darn successful lately. But I think it will be West Will Power here who will likely be on the pace, and he's probably one of the best horses to get on the pace and possibly stay on it and ride it out. West Will Power is Proxy. I like him in a 7 horse race because he has that closing ability, and if he has that room, I think he's actually got a pretty good chance to win this. But I like Smile Happy that much more. I think Smile Happy's style in terms of stalking that pace, getting close to it, he's got a better shot at closing in and finishing with a win than Proxy does, but I like Proxy to finish in the money. I like Whistle Power to be there. Stiletto Boy, hard to discount him. I like to put these at 4 horses here. I think closing out with Stiletto Boy, the fact that he's always in the money, he likes to stay up on the pace. He likes to hang on for as long as he possibly can. I'm liking my foursome here. It hurts me to leave out a couple horses. Obviously, Rattle and Roll coming off those recent 3 wins, but I just don't think that I can go off of those 3 wins with the same positivity I have on these 4 horses because I don't think that the horses he beat in those 3 races are nearly as strong as the way these 4 have been beating up on each other and other horses. So with that, let's get rid of these slides here. Throw it out to you guys. What do you think? You like the field that we got developing here for the Stephen Foster? Do you like who I picked with Smile Happy, or do you like a different horse? Please let me know in the comments. Let me know how it's going. Have a good one. Peace.